As far as the order of the agenda? No, we normally just go down the list.
I don't think allegiance or.
And we do a pledge of allegiance. And then of course there's an introductory as far as like the values and details. As we meet now, they're keeping track of who's in attendance, so we know like all the keys are on your card here.
Yeah, but.
Yeah.
They sign it first or?
Right, is that done? We haven't signed it sheet?
No, we don't have a sign sheet.
Okay, it would be just asked if somebody's here for that case, then we want the next one here. I don't know.
Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Lola Borges. I'm going to be your new special magistrate for Miami Springs. This is a quasi-judicial hearing, which means it's similar to what we see on TV in court, or if you have ever been to small claims. But the rules are less formal, and everybody who's here to speak on behalf of the case will have the opportunity to do so. Now, I'd like for everybody who's present to please stand up and join me for the pledge of allegiance.
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And for those who will be providing testimony this afternoon, please stay standing up if you're going to testify for the taking of the oath. If you're going to be speaking, please get up, raise your right hand for the taking of the oath. Do you swear from the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, with that, I'm going to ask you to call the case.
Okay, so the first case on the agenda is a fine reduction. It's number one on the agenda, case number 20-02107, property address 465 South Drive. This was for a violation of section 151-04, application for building permits, basically work done without a permit. The violation is complied. If you don't have a copy of the mitigation ordinance, city's mitigation ordinance.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That first sheet is actually our copy. Okay. No, let's just. Oh, that's it. Yeah.
So based on the city's mitigation ordinance, it computes the time that they were outside of compliance. And it attributes a percentage. In this case, the maximum reduction is 25%, which is based on the amount, the total amount too. I'll have code enforcement advise on the specific details and give some background if you'd like. But the total amount due would be, correct me if I'm wrong, 42,375.
56,000.
Okay, okay, so 56,500. I believe the individual requesting the reduction is here today. Okay.
That 56,500, that was the original amount, or is that the reduction?
So the original amount, and I'm sorry, this is co-compliance officer Davies. Borrego, the original amount was actually 59,600. Our payment of 3,100 was actually made last year. So the amount that's pending for reduction is 56,500.
Right, and I heard that the property is now in compliance, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and was the property owners cooperative in trying to get the matter resolved?
Yes.
We have somebody here present. Please state your name and relation to the news.
My name is Julian. I'm the owner. That's my father.
It sounds like your property is fully in compliance and you can go cooperative. Now, you're seeking a reduction of the fine, correct?
Yes.
Right, and pursuant, you're aware of the 25% reduction, city that would be the maximum, right? Or I guess you just looked at
Yeah.
this, heard it this one, this down.
To be honest, it's too much money to pay, because I give it to you guys, all the documents, but I can make that kind of money. Also, I don't see, I never see the numbers, so for me, I think that you charge me for the weekend too, and the time that you took it to give me the money for the day for the extra. Sometimes they took it like in 2 weeks, and maybe charge with that.
If my math is correct, it sounds like the 25% from the 56,500 would be 14,000.
And sports loss and 125.
14, 42.
14. From the 56,500, 25% would be the 14,000. Was there a change? 14,000.
125.
Does the city have a green plan or is it 35 or 30?
I believe there. There is discretion on when. There is discretion, so it could be 30, it could be 60.
Okay, what's the max? What's the max? Is there a max or no? I mean, there's no max.
No, it's on a case by case basis.
All right, now, the reduction for that 25% is going to be 14,125. And obviously, it's not a small amount of money, even though the original was 56,500. So what I'm trying to do is figure out if there's a payment system that you can go ahead and make payments to go ahead and be able to get the reduction of the income. What would be the maximum amount that the city would be, and I know in regards to that 14,125, that was just 25%.
So the recommendation that was received from the city manager was based on that code section, the maximum amount that it was gonna be reduced to would be 42,375.
Okay,
However, to that fee, we will need to add the $150 that are charged to record and release the lien. And $75 were paid for the hearing because that's what we were requiring at that time. However, it's 150 now, which I have mentioned to her the difference, so it would be an additional $75 for the cost of the hearing.
so you go to 150 plus the 75.
Yes, so the total will be 42,600.
So the reduction then is not going to the 25% minimum allowable. It's not going to.
I think with the fines and the total reduction would be 40. No, with the fine alone, it would go down to 42,375, and then plus the 150 and the $75 cost, it would bring it to 42,600. I believe that's with the maximum 25%.
So the reduction will be 25% of the original amount, not reduced to 25%.
Right,
Okay.
right.
Every jurisdiction does it differently, some jurisdictions. Do it, you know, down. Are you checking on other property ordinance fees?
Yes, I wanted to. I can read that into the record.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, so this is under section 32-68. This is I4. Says that if compliance occurs more than 18 months after their compliance deadline, a maximum of 25% of the total fines. So it would be reduced not less than yes. So that's. So that 25% brings us, taken off, brings it down to 42.
Got it. All right, so the amount that they are going to, I don't know, reduction is only 25, basically a haircut of 25% for like that. So not reducing it to 25%, but subtracting 25% of it, which brings the total to $42,600. Now, because of the request for the mitigation, that is what the city has agreed, and based on the ordinance, that's as low that you go. There's some wiggle room on the payment plan portion, but as you heard, it's not going to be super extensive. I can go ahead and proceed with the reduction, but again, it's gonna be the 42,600, and typically put in an amount of time of how long we have to go ahead and make payment. Otherwise, it reverts back to the original, and then you can never go ahead and do that request again. You wanna just withdraw your request for mitigation at this time?
You, Magistrate, all the documents I got that are wrong on my house, paid the taxes. It's 100 years old, my father, so I think right now. It's impossible to me to do that. And I never used to pay anything, I do whatever. I did, so it's crazy, to be honest.
Well, for mitigation purposes, obviously the property owner is the one who we use for, organize that request, and now you
I
understand.
just want to, anything I have to talk to my lawyer first.
So what, since you're the one who's making the request, you want me to proceed with entering that order? And reducing it at that 42,600, or do you want to go ahead and withdraw your request for now and, like you said, file for
I try to talk to my lawyer.
You're gonna just remove the request? Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna actually gonna go ahead and take it to class, and we're gonna go ahead and back the council. Yeah. All right, so I'm not gonna make any rulings today as to your. Okay, perfect. All right.
The next case on the agenda is under new business. It's case number 21-01406. This is property address 365 South Drive. Is anybody here for that case? This is for a violation of section 151-04, work without a permit, work without a required building permit. The citation was issued on June 7th, 2021. They were given 20 days to come into compliance. It was not corrected within the time due, and no appeal was filed or requested within the required time either. The initial penalty of $100 was paid on June 29th, 2021. Based on the payment of the initial fine and no request for appeals, this is essentially the default. But I believe the property owner was provided notice. We have the inspector here today to provide you the details for the work done without a permit. And I believe to this day, there's still non-compliance. We'll ask the inspector to introduce himself and discuss it.
This is co-compliance officer Davis Borrego. So our permit was actually applied for back on July 19th. To legalize the work that was performed without permits. However, until yesterday, no response to comments was done. So that's when the rework was submitted. So the case was open on April 12th based on a complaint that we received on April 7th. That work was being done at the property. As you can see on exhibit number 3, we have some pictures there of when the case was opened from April 7th, where we observed the workers doing work. They were blocking off on a structure at the rear. It seems like when those were blocked off, doors were replaced. As I mentioned, they have applied for the permit July 19th, but until yesterday, no response to comments was submitted.
Now that July 19th, that's 2021 or 2022?
I'm sorry, that was 2021.
Oh, so that, and it was just application, but by now it's probably.
So the building department, they did not cancel the permit. Typically, the lifespan of a permit that has been applied for is 6 months. However, the permit was never canceled, it continued, at the department pretty much, so.
But the question is, was the permit actually issued or was it, did it die out?
No, they just applied that thing. So on July 19th, it was actually reviewed by the building department because when it has to do with work without permit, building is the first one to review. The reviewer, he last comments, and those comments were emailed, the following day, July 20th, 2021. But until yesterday, so I would say about a year and a half, nothing was done.
Let me hear from the, property owner.
Yes, my name is Brenda Reyes. I'm the owner of 365 South Drive.
Okay,
You are right, there was a violation, but not on my part. The actual contractor started work before the permit was issued. But an application was submitted for a permit. The contractor was working on it. He has a debt in the family, so many problems. I already paid the contractor the whole thing. So after all this, he came yesterday and submit partial plans. So I'm asking the court if I can get an extension to keep this violation taken care of. That's all I can do.
so, so one thing that you always want to remember is whenever you do any type of construction, even though you hire a contractor and you think they're gonna get a permit, or you assume they're gonna get a permit, or they tell you they're gonna get a permit. Until you see that permit, you should always assume he's not getting it, because when there's code violations, they don't walk for the contractor, they're not you.
I understand that.
Okay. So was the work completed?
No, it hasn't been completed. He submitted partial plans yesterday when I showed him the court date, so.
Okay. Now, the plans, was that one of the comments that they had that they needed to have one?
So I did take a look at them today before the hearing, and it seems that they submitted response to comments. They voided the same sheets that they had before, so they just submitted 3 sheets. And yesterday, again, they submitted rework for the same 3 sheets. So I wouldn't know yet because it hasn't been sufficient time for it to be reviewed, whether it complies with other comments from before.
Do you know what is going to be the, you know, what the building department's position would be in reference to that application? Whether that's still the one that was originally open in 2021, whether that's still valid, because we're running now on 2 years.
Yeah, so far they took in the rework and they have continued with the process, so I don't think that that's something that's gonna be canceled or anything like that for now. Yeah.
Okay, so right now we have, from what I've heard, we had rework of the windows that were removed. What else was getting done on the property?
On the inside, we moved 1 bathroom
Okay,
from the side because what happened is that one of the walls, when I was washing, I had the washing machine there. When I was checking the clothes, almost half the wall full, so I have to call someone and they start demolishing until they got a concrete wall, so that's why all the work started.
all right.
So is there any way that I can get the extension so finish the work?
So I'm ready to see what the city's requesting in terms of that,
The city was not gonna, being that it was a default case, the city was not gonna request any, provide any additional time. They're looking for, to levy to affirm the initial site, to impose a per diem fine and impose costs. But, the city would be willing to provide 30 days for them to
I think,
finalize the permit.
as I was gonna say, 30 days to finalize the permit as your last, kind of like their last chance to go ahead and get compliance. And if they don't comply within the 30 days, because it sounds like the building department is gonna do it. So that's the problem this is gonna have, so sounds like the city's okay with giving 30 days, but like 30 days, and that's it.
Okay.
So then you need to go ahead and push it through and get it done in a long time. What is the?
So I'll get like a notice saying that
You're
I
gonna
have
get an
writing?
order, yeah, you're gonna be getting an order. I don't know if you're gonna get it today, but you'll get an order within 30 days. What is it for the end of the season?
So the city would request, the 30 days, or I guess, grace period, the per diem of $100 and $150 costs.
Is there any one-time fine?
No, the one-time fine was actually paid.
Oh, that's right, 'cause that was $100. All right. So I hereby find that there was proper service and that the violation was stated in the notice of violation did exist and continues to exist. We're gonna grant the property owner 30 days to obtain permits. Otherwise, face a fine of $100 a day for the violation is corrected. I'm also granting the city's request in the amount of $150 for fees and costs incurred regarding this matter. So you get an order with that for the 30 days, $100 per diem, so if you don't get it to the 30 days, after 30 days, it's gonna start accruing on every day, $100. And as you probably heard from the previous case, if it keeps accruing, eventually it becomes a lien and make sure that you stay in touch with your code officer, so she's gonna give you a card. If you encounter any issues along the way, keep her informed. You ignore her, you're not gonna be able to.
Believe
go
me, I
ahead
don't wanna be in this predicament.
Yeah, you definitely wanna go ahead and keep in touch with her and let her know what's going on, because if something goes sideways, you want her to know. Okay. You'll get that in the mail.
Thank you.
Yeah, good luck.
The email address also. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yep, okay.
Thank you.
Next case, number 2 on the agenda, that's case number 22-0225. This is a citation for, that was issued against 404 Oriole Avenue, the violation of section 150-145, short-term rental ordinance. I believe it was, had to do with advertising, unauthorized advertising. The violation is complied. The citation was issued on March 14th, 2022. There were within 20 days to remove the advertisement. The citation carried an initial fine of $250. It was paid on April 5th, 2022. There was no appeal that was filed. So we're not looking for any type of cost. We're not looking for any type of cost. It was just okay, so we're not looking for an imposition of any fine, just to affirm that the violation existed at a cost of $150.
Do we have somebody here on behalf of?
Is anybody here for 404 Oriole?
All right, let's go ahead and service real quick. Right, in my file, I have service to Roger and Evelyn PLA. But yeah, certified mail. And I also have pictures of posting of property. Okay, based on that, I hereby find that there is proper service and that the violation has been the notice of violation that exists. They have since been corrected. I'm gonna go ahead and impose no fines. And I am going to grant the city's request in the amount of $150 regarding the reason costs incurred by the city in regarding this matter.
Thank you. Is anybody here for 1101 Oakwood Drive?
Yes.
All right, I'll take that case number. So that's number 3 on the agenda. That's case number 20-01487. This is a citation that was issued for work without a permit. It had to do with kitchen that was constructed. This was issued, the citation was issued on January 25th, 2021. They were given 20 days to come to compliance. The initial fine of $100 was paid on March 16th, 2022. No appeal was taken. So code enforcement has set for hearing, essentially a default hearing, to request that the owner obtain a finalized permit immediately, and that $100 per diem fine be imposed and cost the amount of $150.
Can you hear from the code officer? Has there been, what was the last time the system was checked for application of permits?
That was actually today, and I do have a printout that the building department did give me right before the hearing, where it shows that no permit has yet been applied for.
Or even applied.
Correct. Now, this violation or this case was actually open for a previous owner. So this property was purchased, I think I have a copy of the deed last year. On March 21st, 2022. And I did speak with the current property owner in regards to this case, and I did mention to her that if no compliance was met, that it would be referred to back then what we had was the compliance board. Now, I was aware that she had some interest in doing certain things to the property, that she was gonna be in contact with the zoning director. And actually today, I did notice that the house was being offered for sale last week. And I did receive a call from a closing company that they might be under contract for selling the property. So, we had received a complaint back in June 2020 that from the contractor doing the work, the location was being remodeled, that the flooring was gonna be done and the bathrooms. However, based on the reoccupancy inspection that I performed back in 2022, I was able to confirm that only the location was remodeled.
It sounds like prior to that sale in March of last year, there was nothing reported. In reference to violations.
As far as a lien,
Yeah,
no,
was the new owner cited? And again, I was carrying. Persons.
no.
You asked for the lead.
No, the notice, because right now it sounds like we're operating under a case that was started under the previous owner.
It should have been switched, but they provided direct notice. The representative of the owner is here today.
So we have,
They have taken, for all intents and purposes, they've actually been in contact with the current owner and provide notice, but they just didn't switch it on the actual forms.
and the last citation was the one that is in front of me, it's back to 2021.
That is correct. That was paid by the previous owner.
Let me hear from the property.
Good afternoon. My name is Yuval Rushkovitz. I'm the owner of Jordan Investments. Okay, the thing is, I bought this house a year ago, less than a year ago. In order to demolish it or remodel it to sell it right away or rent it. But the thing is, I had a lot of personal health issues last year, so I didn't do anything. The house has been empty. Nobody has been habiting. It's inhabited. Okay, so there's no other remodeling thing going on, and it was a misunderstanding of my side because even Mrs. She told me that I would have to get the permits. I thought I would have to do it as soon as I started. I mean, when I was about to start remodeling by my side, because I didn't commit any fault.
But the apparently,
So it was a misunderstanding on my side.
so you didn't do any work on the kitchen?
No, not at all. It was the previous owner. Everything is still same thing that Mr. Flavis saw.
If I may, so
Yes.
we were aware of the issue where it was. The citation was issued, it was paid for by the prior owner, and in the process of it being set for hearing, ownership was transferred, and I think that kind of stalled everything. So I directed code enforcement to section 32-64, which mirrors the governing statute, which says that subsection 4, if the owner of the property that is subject to the code compliant proceeding before the board transfers ownership of such property between the time the initial notice was served and the time of the hearing, just in this case, such owner shall, it provides a duty of certain things to that they must provide to the city. We didn't get that. Disclosing writing the existence of the nature of the proceedings to the respective transferee, we didn't get proof of that. So I don't know if any of that was done, if what type of correspondence was done between the prior owner and the new owner. And it follows failure to just make such disclosure before the transfer creates a rebuttable presumption of fraud. If the property is transferred before the hearing shall not be dismissed, but the new owner shall be provided a reasonable period to correct the violation before the hearing is held.
That's where I'm inclined to go, either that or it gets recited with a short span and then it comes back and she's not in line. So either way, it seems like she gets additional time.
Right, so being that this case is marked, the citation was issued in 2021, and this is 2023. You know, to the extent that they need any, I'm not aware of when the ownership was transferred. But the city would argue that they've been provided sufficient notice to salvage the case. But of course, that's
Well,
determination.
I think even reading it under the statute, I don't disagree with the notion that the transfer has happened a long time ago. The citation happened in 2021, the transfer of ownership happened in 2022. We're almost a year after that transfer, so there's been sufficient time. The first, at least on the documents I have, the first official document that I have going to Tier 9 Investments is the summons to appeal, which is dated February 24th.
That is correct.
So I'd be concerned about whether that would the duty was on the prior owner to have disclosed it as part of the sale. Clearly he didn't. And I think that's what the statute is, the ordinance is trying to get to, which probably with the statute that it would be basically innocent rather than part of the person. So it's voting.
I mean, I was in contact with her prior to the purchase. I don't know.
Okay, do you have any email or anything like that?
I did check to confirm. I went back on the text messages, but it was over the phone. I don't have anything ready. I just think that if we recite and the home is under contract to be sold, then we're back to square one.
No, I get it. What I do is I make sure that the. Get it into this. Go ahead.
It's not under contract yet. I don't have any notice about it.
So here is my you have that statute?
The statute or the code,
The code, the code.
the code is, yes, I mean,
Statute gonna be more for very good.
your chapter 162, it does provide that regulation.
So I'm gonna travel, I'm gonna travel under the last, paragraph, which basically says that the new owner shall be provided a reasonable period of time to correct the violation. While it sounds like there might have been verbals, we do not have anything in writing other than the actual disappearance today. So typically something like that. It's the kitchen, which should be a pretty straightforward application. So my recommendation is to give her 30 days to go ahead. I don't think that burden. I want to go ahead and put the order for it to be recorded, but I also want a new citation issue.
I'm sorry, if I may add,
Go ahead.
so on the kitchen, it was also the light fixtures. They replaced the light fixtures and the drywall of the roof. So not only the kitchen cabinets, countertops.
No, it's the whole
Yeah.
kitchen, like a room when it's entire, not just having it that perfect. That is for whatever was under the kitchen. That was and then have it recited again, so that we can go ahead and clean it up. And that way, same thing instructions as with the previous one, rotating, touch with your sort of worship officer, just in case you have any needs along the way. And just know that sometimes you are going to get a new citation for it, just to go ahead and have a new case number that is literally correct need, okay? Alrighty, so, relation my ruling, I hereby find that there was proper notice and that the violations as stated in the notice of violation did exist and continue to exist. I'm gonna, order the, property owner to come into compliance without pinning the permit within 30 days. Otherwise, there's a fine $100 a day, like the other one, with the permit, $100 a day, under the violation that's records. And, is there a request for the 150? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna, grant this expressing amount of the 150 for fees and costs incurred in the city regarding this matter, with the notation that once she pays that it doesn't duplicate in the next one. I wanna go ahead and give her credit, so that he's not double. Okay, so we'll transfer it over to. Okay. All right, oh, and I wanted the order, I'm gonna make sure that the order is recorded. It's not for it to become a lien, but to give the world a notice that there is a violation. That way there's a, individual owners, we don't, you have a submission. All right, okay, all right, thank you. Was that something in the meeting?
Next is case number 22-0229. This is property address 1901 Hammond Drive. Is anyone in that case? Move on to the next case.
Right, let's be honest.
Okay. Is anybody here for 48 Curtis Parkway? 78 Canal Street. 45 Loveland Drive. So that's case number 7 on the agenda. Number 7 on the agenda, it's case number 21-00513. This is for a violation of section 151-04. Work performed without required building permits. This appears to have been a shed that was obstructed. The citation was issued on December 1st, 2022. They were given 20 days to come into compliance. It carried with it a $100 initial penalty, which has not been paid. No appeal of the citation was received. So the city want me to get into what the city is requesting, or
No, not yet.
okay.
It was just, no permit regarding the check, correct?
Correct.
All right, let's hear from the, state your name and the relationship.
Chris Alexander.
And what's going on with the shed?
So, I'm just requesting for you to please, grant us a 30-day extension so that we can apply for the permit. I've gone to the office a couple of times, specifically, I think it was last week and this week. I had to get the survey recertified because, the survey that's one of the requirements for the permit. It was expired from when we had originally bought the house, so supposedly they went out today to get that done, and the response for that, whether it will be approved or not for the survey, will be coming tomorrow, they told me. And then also, I need to apply for a variance because of the location of the shed. And the gentleman that handles that, which I believe his name is Chris, is sick. So, I was told yesterday to not apply for the permit until I speak to him. Because it would be basically kind of like a waste of time because if I need to do the variance. So I'm just requesting that, we get like 30 days just to speak to Chris and we'll take care of it.
Right here. How is it gonna be problem to check that?
We didn't construct the shed, it was installed and it's all installed like hurricane proof and. Hardly.
The setback is, the room is set on both sides of the room, right? Or is it just a side?
Well, we really don't know.
Oh, because we guys are right, it's permit.
We haven't
I'm
received the
jumping
survey.
ahead, I'm sorry. Like, I can see that there's gonna be a problem with that, with
Yeah.
that.
So the
That's
thing
like
is,
that,
that
and the
there's-
variance could be a problem.
yeah, no, I'm aware of that, that's why I needed to do the variance, but I mean, the location, I feel like it's in a good spot. There's really not anywhere else to put it. So I would hope that the variance will get approved, it's bolted correctly, everything is great, there's space on the side for drainage. But I guess we could just discuss it and whatever the city allows me to do is what I'm going to do. I'm just requesting a little bit of time.
The city, how about that, are they?
That has been received yet.
No, I'm just trying to get time frames.
Oh,
It's moving pretty quickly. So something like a shed would go in and out, it's done, if everything that's applied for is there. Right. Okay. Alright, so here's what my information is, a mess. I'm inclined to grant it the third ways. But, that is, with a big but. Is that, based on the picture I'm looking at, and the officer is kind of confirming that there looks like it's gonna be a setback issue. There is a likelihood you might not be able to get variance.
Okay.
Which means no variance, no permit,
So let's move the check.
which means no permit, either you're getting fined on a daily basis and you're back, you're getting fined on a daily basis because it's not corrected, or you're gonna have to take it down.
Or move it to a different location, which would follow
You
the.
would still have to do it with permits.
No, of course, but we would be able to move it, right? We would have to transfer.
So long as you get proper permits,
Okay.
then yes, but again, you're gonna be running against the clock, so I'm gonna get, my intention right now is to give you the 30 days of requesting. And that's the reason that I was asking the officer how backed up we were on building permits. Because if we're not backed up, it seems like if you get all your ducks in a row properly, you can get it, you push it through.
So is there anybody else other than, I guess this question would be for you guys, other than Chris that I can speak to or consider variances? I don't know how long he's gonna be in hospital for.
Yeah, there's not.
Oh, right, okay.
I'm his admin assistant, so I'll put you through the variance process, and the board who does the variances meets once a month. So you kind of want to get all that paperwork before their time is allotted, because then you would have to wait a full month for them to then meet again.
Okay, so what date is that?
The first Monday of every month. So for this month, it's already gone, so it would be for next month, April.
So then can you grant 60 days so that I can get that done?
But that's if you require that variance. The
Okay,
first
no,
step
I
would
would
be to speak with Chris.
Because I'm here, so guys, speak to you.
So it'll be between us, yeah.
Okay, so,
So you said the survey has already been requested, correct?
yeah.
Did they tell you how long it's gonna take for that survey?
I spoke to someone girl, I don't know, it was either you.
No, the survey, the one that you had to hire our surveyor, right?
No, it was through the city, it was to
Okay.
recertify it, so I spoke to one of the girls, in the office, and they told me that by tomorrow, hopefully, we would have the answer whether that survey was approved or not. So if it wasn't approved, then I'll just hire a surveyor to come and recertify it, rather than change the date. Whatever the city does.
That's another thing, because surveyors are usually about 4 to 5 weeks out. and
So
getting-
because of the situation with Chris being in the hospital and the meeting, well, Chris being in the hospital doesn't matter because I can speak to you, right? But with the meeting being the first of the month, then can we do 60 days and we take care of it? Because if they tell me no on the
But it's a
variance, then I have to
condition
move the
regarding
shed.
60 days.
No, show.
Well,
We're
if
able
it's
to give her the
different,
60 days.
I'm like, okay, so, we'll do this, we'll do this. So we'll give her the 60 days, she can use the 60 days whichever way she wants, but the 60 days done and over where it's variance, whether it's moving it, whether it's, because this one got permitted or another, if they moved it over somewhere else with a permit. 60 days, you should be able to resolve the whole shebang.
Right.
It's a simple shed, we're not talking about a structural,
No, I don't.
okay. All right, and what is the, per diem, what's the question?
The city would request $100 per diem, that the initial $100 fine be paid and cost them $150.
Wait, the per diem starts.
I'm sorry, that is, what was that, per diem again?
$100. The $100 and the initial fine are the same.
So basically the per diem kicks in after the 6 days.
Oh,
So if you don't get it, comply with it, it's time period, that's when it's, right?
and so the $100 that you guys send me for the
That's-
citation is now.
Yeah.
I'll pay for it tomorrow, and then what else have to pay?
It's 150 for the hearing cost.
Okay.
So I'm hereby find that there was proper service and that the violations as stated and the notice of violation that exists and continue to exist. I'm going to impose the $100 fine for it to be paid. Is there a time period, 30 days? Or is it-
Usually around 30 days.
Okay, so $100 in 30 days. Granting the city's request, the amount of $150, usually cost incurred regarding this matter. And I'm gonna order the property owner to come into full compliance within 60 days, otherwise it's a fine of $100 a day into the violation of.
Can I ask Rosemary something? Rosemary, do you want me to come tomorrow and apply for the permit anyways, or do you want me to do the variance thing first? Because I was advised to not waste my time doing it. I wanna make sure that that's okay with you and that everything's out of. Absolutely. So apply for the permit tomorrow, regardless of the variance.
I would not.
Oh, do not apply.
No, no.
Okay, so do the variance first. Do the variance. So basically I have to wait until the first of the month.
What I would be doing if I were you is looking for the alternative if that variance doesn't go.
Okay.
So if your intent is to go ahead and move it elsewhere, I would start planning now where that location is, and if you have to empty out that shed, how you're gonna do it quickly. How you gonna get that moved, because again, I'm looking at these pictures. Honestly, I don't see it. I don't see how, again, I'm new to the city, but again, this jurisdiction, I just don't see it if that's what it's said that.
If you don't mind me asking, what is it about the picture that you think that people did a variance?
I'm sorry?
If you don't mind me asking,
Yeah, you're
That's
trying to,
no problem.
okay,
what is it about the picture that you think
The-
you did a variance?
based on,
It sits almost behind the house.
yeah, but it looks like it's more towards the front of the house, and I can see from the,
It
picture.
looks like 20 feet from the gate on the side of the house. It sits back a good 15, 20 feet.
Normally you have 5 feet also from the side and the neighbor to the other
Right.
side. So again, that's the reason that they requested the survey.
Okay.
On it to go ahead and confirm all those distances. But again, I haven't been to your property, so I go.
When
I
I think to the back, I think we're good. It's the situation for the signs. That's where I think the issue is.
Yeah, and I think based on what I'm seeing, that's probably about 3 feet at tops, what you have there.
Yeah, because from, I mean, I can't really see what picture it is, but that's, yeah, that, yeah, you can't see the other side, but there's like from here to here, whole carpets and then,
Oh, okay.
yeah, that's not up against the fence.
But again, like I said, that's your property, that's where you can go ahead and do whichever way you
Yeah,
want, I'm just trying to anticipate. Anything possible issue, 60 days will go by very fast. All right, guys, we got the order, we got something in the mail, thank you.
And so I don't need nothing else to.
No, but we got something.
Thank you.
Bye.
Next case. is
Bye.
on the agenda. Is anybody here for 248 Payne Drive, Mark Run, go right here? Okay, that's case number 22-0959.
Sir, would you put that sworn in when you walk in? Before?
No, I did not get sworn in.
Raise your
I
right hand, do you swear from the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
sure do.
This is for violation of section 151-04, failure to obtain required building permits. This pertains to aluminum roof that the installed. The citation was issued on November 16th.
The doors and to the left.
The owner was given 20 days to come to compliance. there was a one-time fine of $200 because this violation, the initial fine was not paid, and no appeal was requested for administrative hearing as received. It's moved for essentially off order in this case.
Right, let me get from the property owner, what's going on with that,
Well, this is I think.
your name, I'm sorry, say your
My
name.
name is Mark Bruno, 348 things, but.
Yeah.
This violation, when it was given to me, it was written as a number, not telling me something specific like the roof. So I didn't know actually what it was until right now, when I said it said roof right here on the side. But it's okay, all I want to do is come into compliance, so however I can come into compliance with what is it I got to do.
What was the previous classification for? Also.
Yes, code compliance officer, Rosemary Noble. So he's had several violations. He did a pool
Without permits?
without permit and windows and doors.
The pool has all the paperwork already with the city, and the windows and doors, I'm still in the process of actually getting the stuff completely available to.
That's probably a separate,
Yeah.
gonna be a separate case.
It
The
is.
reason I asked about that is because they mentioned that if you're reading that it's basically gonna be, I wanted to make sure that it was related to the same type of violation. As opposed to something different, it sounded it's the same thing, building without a permit, so it sounds like you've done it 2 times. Alrighty, what is the city requesting on this one?
The city would request that the initial fine of $200 be paid. If they come into compliance immediately and obtain a finalized permit, it would be a roof. $500 per year fine imposed and cost the amount of $150.
How much is it per year?
500.
Normally I try to bend over backwards, but you have 3 strikes, man.
Well, I appreciate the thought and consideration of amending backwards, but when I dealt with the situation that I dealt with, this is what's useful. See, I work in the pool business, so I constructed, it started as a small waterfall and it turns out to be a pool. And I got all the paperwork for it, and now something happened with the architects, so I'm in the process of getting the architect to having done with the architect, but all the engineering, everything's been done, it's all been done, legitly, it's, like I said, I work with wood. And then during the COVID time, my front door broke. One of the storms that had a whole door in the front, it broke. I replaced the front door and then they tell me that I do windows too, so now I'm up with windows. I have to do windows.
Where,
The roofs have been on for a while, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I just want to come to compliance, that's all I want to do, so they can tell me what I need to do, I'll do it.
the other cases have they gone to, have they been to the board? Yeah, on the board, okay, so they're like, oh, wow. When were those? More or less, it doesn't have to have any exact date. 2021, it was last year, 2022.
Yeah.
Congratulations, boards that went to the board of magistrate.
And if I might add, who's the compliance officer's name for Borrego. The pool case actually started in 2014. He had mentioned that it was just a pond, So we had to wait until, because his house, the back doesn't have an alley, it's a lake, so we were not able to confirm the violation until property appraiser updated their, aerial view. And we were able to confirm that it was a pool, so he was cited for that. That permit is still not issued. The building department already canceled it once because it had been so long. I mean, I know this is a separate case, but since you're asked, I'm giving you background now. And the permit is still not issued and it has been approved for months, and I'm sure it's due to be canceled soon as well, once again.
No, and I appreciate it, and that's exactly what's happening. Moving forward.
The architect got me a bad thing, that's why I'm looking for some of the architect, and I got already the other architect, and just.
For the pool, you don't need another
I was gonna
architect.
say you don't need an architect.
You just need to paint.
That's what I was told.
No, you have been to the department several times, so the department has reached out. I have spoken with you at the
You
department.
said you're a pool contractor. You should, if anybody should know,
I work for a big.
so you have access to people who could have actually helped to go ahead and get the correct information.
So the permit is just pending to, for the final piece to be paid and for it to be inspected.
That's.
That's exactly what I need to know, I'm jumping right on that, and as soon as I can, tomorrow, if I can, I come in and then.
Now,
I get inspected.
the roofing one that's an issue in this case is seems like it's the one towards the back, it's the back end, so there's several of them. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out what it is.
They can inspect all of it, it's fine, it's. all I wanna do is
Like 2 or 3 in the rear.
There's a small one on the side, little cabana in the back, it's like a little side house. And then there's one that's, which I think is the one that they said might be illegal, is the one that's not the insulated one. Supposedly the insulated one is legit, I want to get a permit for it. And then-
I haven't seen the roof, so I really don't know.
Well,
Right,
the
yes.
aerial views, I went to the building department and you guys were the ones that showed me when we first saw it.
You met with you this season.
When you did, he's right,
Correct.
and he mentioned that to me, it wasn't a violation, and I was like, some of that was even there when I got the house originally, so it's like,
Well, it's a violation because there were no permits issued for it.
well, I understand, so it's just a matter of coming to compliance with it,
Right.
but then if there's one that's a material that's, to be able to get a permit for it, and there's one that's not, then I have to take one.
Right, so you got the citation, this one, document.
This roof, correct.
This roof,
Just not so instant, and
So, yeah.
and I'm late, so like.
it looks like it was 2022. What have you done in reference to this particular roof since, it's because it says, I'm looking at your citation, it does say aluminum roofs. Have you done anything in reference
Well,
to?
I found out that one of them isn't, I spoke with, this is back in the time, but I haven't been able to follow up on that. I have to follow up on that. I really didn't know exactly what I have to do there. So do I have to tear it down? Do I have to get a permit to tear it down? I need to understand what would be the process with that. And if I have to do that at all, I hate to have to do something that I don't have to do. So maybe we have to come out and take a look at it. Tell me whether I gotta take it down or not, but like I said, it's been there
Well, that's what we had code officers.
10 years or something. Forever, those roofs have been there forever.
It doesn't matter if it's been there forever, even if you bought it with that violation there, you just bought it. You bought that violation with your property.
Understandable, but property.
All right, so it sounds to me that I'm hearing just a whole bunch of excuses in regards to permitting. Did you put that roof up there yourself, or did you hire somebody else there?
That was usually like, depends on which one you're talking about. I'm a handyman, I do a lot of stuff myself, but it depends on which one you're saying.
Well, it looks like you were already told by Lisa that it was the problem, right?
Well, no, he's the one that mentioned to me that the type of roof. And that I could be in violation with you at the time, and I wasn't in violation. Because I was talking to him about. the
When
fire
was it?
violation.
Are you talking like before?
I was talking about the fire violation, and we had a meeting and in his
Oh,
office.
so he was nice enough to actually give you a heads up that you might have an issue.
Another issue, right, another issue.
So you waited until the compliance, until you got the notice of violation.
I don't know if I'm actually in violation yet, like I asked, I was just had a conversation with him, because he was meant, our initial conversation was about the pool. And he also said that I have to come into compliance, most likely with these things too, although I haven't been ticketed or fined for it. That's what we had mentioned, that's what we're,
You did, I see another signature on it.
but not at that time. That happened after our conversation.
Well, exactly, so he gave you a heads up, you had an issue, for you to go ahead and fix it then.
Not denying it, but talking about it in a way like if I spoke with him, and he mentioned, and then that's after that violation came up. So I was out of compliance.
Alright, so I think that his request was the $200 fine, the $500 per diem, no time immediate, so no time for compliance.
Right.
Alright, I hereby find that there was public service and the violation was stated in the notice of violation to exist, and continue to exist. I'm hereby granting this city's request in the amount of the $200 fine, no granting, no time to come into compliance, on the basis that there has been sufficient time for you to come into compliance and has been absolutely nothing. The fact that he has 2 priors in regards to no building permits. And as such, I am going to grant this request in the amount of $500 per diem fine until the property comes into compliance, and $150 request for fees and costs are hereby granted in regards to the cost incurred by the city. Alright,
Can I say anything?
nope, I already ruled, I gave you the chance to go ahead and.
How can anyone do anything at $500 a day or any other, those are ridiculous things. It seems like what
Sir, I already-
what the city council is trying to do is take away the homes from the people that live in the area. And that's what this is serving. And it's for something that nobody's complaining about except for somebody that's in the city.
Sir,
My intentions
I
are.
have already ruled.
I understand, and my
you
intentions.
can
are
step
to come-
outside,
And it's unfortunate that it has to come to this kind of a situation. That's all I'm saying.
alright?
Next case on the agenda is number 9, that's case number 22-1349. Is anybody here for 800 Hunting Lodge Drive? 1037 Hunting Lodge Drive. 1221 Swan Avenue. That's number 11 on the agenda, case number 22-1273. And the property address is 1221 Swan Avenue, yes. Violation, this is a citation of vision for violation of section 150-017. Recreational vehicles improperly placed on the side yard. This citation was issued in December 13th, 2022. They were given 20 days to come to compliance. There was a $100 one-time fine. They carried with the citation, has not been paid, and no appeal. The request for an administrative hearing was received. So the city is proceeding as proposed.
It looks like the place underneath it is the same property, same violation, but.
Yes, so one is for exactly, so I guess as far as the timeline is concerned, it's probably better to start with number 12. Because that's where the first citation, that citation was issued on October 11th, 2022. And it's number 11. The citation was issued in December because it was moved, but it was also improper where it was moved.
Right, so it's the same vehicle, and that's the reason we have the road the other way, it's the same boat,
Yes,
just moved in just different spots.
right.
So it's not an RV, it's, okay. All right, got it, all right, let me hear from the property owner, you state your name and the business.
My name is Stephen Everdays.
All right, so I see you have a boat that you're starting at the property. Now, the first one, when you got the first citation, it looks like you had it towards the side, or towards the front. And I'm gonna show you the picture that I have with me, which is the one from 25. Yeah. All right, and so tell me, it looks like you got cited and you attempted to move it somewhere else?
Absolutely. I do have another boat that's in the backyard, and that's the first one that they asked me to move, and I moved it. Okay, this is the second boat. I just can't get the rules and the regulations right, and I have a problem with the lady that's writing the paperwork. She's been pulling up to my house with police officers. This is not a criminal matter. You understand that, Judge? I'm a little irate, and I'm sorry, but I just can't, not worried about paying the fine. I've done, I met your requirements, and I have another boat in the backyard. And the rule that I get from the lady that comes to bring, which is this lady right here, that it must not be viewed from the street. By DOT height regulations. On the trailer, on any trailer, it's gonna say, any boat besides a flat boat or speedboat. Above the 6-foot fence, which can be viewed from the street. Which this lady says, it's not to be viewed from the street, nor the side of the neighbor. I have a boat in the backyard that can be seen from all the neighbors. And I'm not getting any paperwork or any feedback on that. I told the lady that I was working on the boat, and I believe by the state of Florida laws, I have 3 months to work on the boat. I took the boat out, I'm building the boat. I had the boat somewhere else in stores due to COVID. I had to bring my stuff back to the house. I fixed the boat. I took the boat out and the boat broke down. This lady, the code compliance is showing up with the officers, police officers to my house. I asked her which one of the neighbors called the police officers to get a police report. She cannot produce that, and every 2 days she's showing up at my house. She said she showed up at the police, at my house, the police officers, because I was aggressive. It's what they're certified mail for. If I was aggressive, there's no need to come back. She's come back multiple times after that with different people, with no police officers. I feel like I'm being harassed. I'm not mad about it. I just need to get the rules straight. The first time that I moved the boat in the back house, the lady out of her own mouth said that the front of the trailer could not breach the front part of the house. As soon as I left and I ran my business and I took off to Michigan, she wrote my mother a fine. I had to pay somebody to move it back there, and it split the tires on my trailer due to the alleyway. Not asking for nobody, but I just need to get the rules straight. The neighbor across the street has his boat hooked up 24 hours a day. He's had multiple fines, and not one time have they asked him to come to court. I just need to get the rules right. I feel like I'm being harassed. These people are showing up, but they cannot give me an answer. She's telling me it's viewed from the street. The paper here says screen from the street. I just need to get the right thing, the right from a judge to let me know where I'm at, I'm at, because I'm not going to keep playing musical chairs with this lady. She comes up to my house and she waits. I'm sitting outside. As soon as I go inside, then she comes up and puts the paper on the door. What's the purpose of the certified bail if you're going to come here and keep harassing me? Not only is she harassing me, but she's harassing other people's, because it says here that I can go and bring my evidence. She's harassing people that are longtime residents in Miami Springs that pull all the permits. And she's driving by asking them if they have a permit. And I think, I mean, as far as, you know, the job, I'm an adult. Don't you think you should have the paperwork before you start harassing the clients here? Regardless, that has nothing to do with the boat. DOT height regulations on any trailer that is a recreational vehicle. And recreational vehicles is a bicycle as far as I'm concerned. There's golf carts parked in the front of people's houses. How are you pulling a permit to put an electric in the front of your house with a golf cart if it needs to be behind a 6-foot fence? Oh, because it has a tag on it. My boat's got tags on it.
Right now, I don't think that the issue is a permit, it's the fact of where the location where the trailer is at. Because earlier you mentioned about the 6 foot fence, you don't have a 6 foot fence there, right?
You're absolutely right. And I told the lady that I couldn't afford it right now. If there's anything that I could do. I told her, please don't trespass on my property because the driveway
Well,
in my house.
I've given a lot of leeway to kind of vent out, so let's go ahead and just turn it down a little bit.
Well, I know it's, I mean, but
So
it's either the-
that's why I gave you a little bit of leeway to go ahead and get it out, and let's now go ahead and get to the rational portion of the hearing.
Okay.
On it, so, okay, so there's not, I just wanted to make sure that, because you mentioned the 6 foot. You were the one who brought it up, so I. wanted to
And there's
make
been
sure that you
multiple
don't have-
pictures,
Okay.
Judge.
So, Ms. White,
There's been multiple pictures. Do you have them all where she's standing on my front porch and taking the,
just, sir, let's tone it down, she was just trying to do her job. She's just trying to do her job.
police showing up at the house is doing
Sir,
their job?
I gotta tell you, I'm.
And
sorry.
you guys can't prove.
Sir,
take the
if I
thing
was
for it?
with the time of fighting
How
off.
much is the fine?
Now, I would also be going there with a cop. Because I'm not gonna. put
And
my
if I
life
told
in
you,
that.
don't trespass on my property the first time, and you keep coming back because I'm aggressive, when you can certify mail the letter, then you don't need to be showing up at anybody's house if you
Sure.
felt threatened to come there the first time. I'm mad and irate because she's doing the way that she is, and there's no answers I can get until I get to you.
Well,
And you're
I
telling
am
me,
trying-
you gave me time, I get it, you give me time, but
am
I still don't have the rules, and this is harassment. And
trying
prove
to
that
have a
it's not.
conversation with you, but you're not allowing me to, because if this is exactly the same thing you were doing to her, I understand.
I've been
why-
down here the reason that I'm irate, ma'am, the reason that I'm irate is because I've been down here 3 times and nobody can tell me anything.
Sir, either you let me talk, or you can go ahead and step outside and I'm gonna roll it out.
You can do whatever, we can go to a different court if you'd like, but I'll tell you this is wrong, this lady's showing up to my house with police officers if I'm aggressive.
Sir,
There's
this
no
is
rules in your
fine.
standard work, hey, there's no paperwork that says you should be showing up to my house with police. Do whatever you want, lady, write me whatever fine you want. Thank you very much. I'm gonna sue you for harassment. This is not, it's about paperwork, and all you keep telling me is about the paperwork. And what you're doing is showing up to my house with police that is not part of your everyday fucking job. And you're gonna find people. How many people have you fined and take the money from? And at the end of the day, the money that you're writing, you can still see every fucking recreational vehicle from the front view or a block away. So your rules don't apply to everybody. I'm sorry, right? Whatever fine you is, thank you very much. I've tried to figure it out. I've been down here 3 times to talk to Ulysses. He's never here. You can ask the lady in the front. I've done every single step what I'm supposed to do. And this lady still keeps coming, writing things on my, writing fines. All you have to do is certify mail the letter
Maybe like a
to
few
have
years ago,
no
and
problems
everything-
whatsoever
everything
on
that gets
her
paid, he
end
just goes
or
back
on
to
my
the
end.
store.
That's
in the
it,
women's
man.
club
And
is
that's
three
what I'm worried about. Why she keeps doing it. With the
Thank you.
police officer, ma'am, this has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. man. And I give you the option that I'll leave and give me the fine, but
Okay.
you have nothing to do with this.
Yeah,
It's-
alright.
And what am I doing wrong, man? What am I doing wrong? What am I? And that's not against the law. You asked me to speak and I spoke. At the end of the day, we're not getting the problem solved. So what do you mean? Well, what are the rules and what is the law, ma'am? Since you're the police officer, what is the law? Hey, don't scream at me, lady, because this is bullshit. This is bullshit. To do, and what you invited me here and now you're gonna take me out? I'm leaving. I'm listen, man, I'm leaving. But do you understand that the problem is not solved? And you're on her side and you're not listening to what I'm saying, man. You're coming to my house with police, so this is not a criminal matter. Well, then why didn't she come back with the cops yesterday? You understand? This is where I'm at, man. I'm not getting anywhere. I'm irate. They're bringing me down here. It's costing me money. And who's gonna pay for that? No one. But you're not the judge. But I'll leave, so make sure that you're writing your police report, what happened here today. So when it comes back and you're charging me $800 a day, that we don't have to deal with that. It's, ma'am, listen, I'm not gonna cause a problem. I live here. My mom, I know, okay. I just don't understand what it is. But we're out of control because we can't get to a solution.
The funny thing about it is that I was trying to go ahead and give you a solution, but you went off.
You understand where I'm at?
Sir,
You're pulling up with police officers to my house with none of the neighbors calling. This is not a criminal
so you
matter.
haven't even let me go ahead and have a discussion with you. I literally told you, I'm letting you vent because obviously you have things in your system that you wanted to get out. And when I tried to go ahead and ask some questions to see if we could come to a resolution in regards to your case, you went off already. Well, at this point in time, to be honest with you, I feel like.
Because of my reaction, you're gonna give me whatever you decide to do. This is not about my reaction. This is the law. And that's plain and simple. I have an argument about it.
Sir.
If I
you
didn't
know
have
what?
ground to stand on, I'd have paid it straight from the get-go, but I'm not gonna play musical codes around my house, my property that I paid.
So I'm gonna ask you to step outside. I'm gonna go ahead and be explaining the living without you.
That's
I hear-
exactly what I wanted to get at. Thank you very much.
I hereby find that
Have a
the
great day.
proper notice that the violation, taking another violation of the. I'm hereby ordering payment of $100. Assessing the fees in the amount of $150 as incurred by the city in reference to the damage. We're still on case number 22-0977. And so this one is a default, he is up for immediate compliance. And what's the per diem?
So on 0977, since he moved it, he complied that violation, so that's just a one-time fine.
Okay, so that was the one-time fine, no per diem, and $150 for the fees and costs, okay. And then let's do the second one.
For so for case number 22-1273, that's still not in compliance. It's a default. This is a one-time fine of $100 that had not been paid. The per diem of $100 and cost in the amount of $150.
I'm sorry. What was his first name? He's not on that moment.
Stephen Dennis Davis.
Right.
Right.
All right, I hereby find that there was proper service and that the violations as stated in the notice of violation dated this and continues with this. And I'm hereby imposing the one-time fine of $100 in relation to the citation. Granting the city's request in the amount of $150 for fees and costs incurred regarding this case, and ordering the immediate compliance by removal of the recreational fee of the boat goods at the current time. Otherwise, pay the fine of $100 a day under the violation. All right, next one.
Great. The next cases are the appeal section. Is anybody here for 15 Glendale Drive? This is case number 22-1067, property address 15 Glendale Drive. This was for a violation of section 93-13, maintenance of property by the owner. The citation was issued on January 30th, 2022. They had 20 days to come into compliance. They carried with it $100 initial penalty and which was not paid. A request for an administrative hearing or an appeal was received. That's what we're here for today.
Right, the citation appears to be for vegetation and items that needs to be removed.
Is it the case?
Let me go ahead and look at I'm gonna look at the with the first 30 seconds. All right, go ahead, please say your name.
My name is Sean Mendoza, 15 Glendale Drive. I've even contacted Ms. Noble, she knows me, and I'll let you know my neighbor. This for the record, she's the type of lady that she complains when it rains, complains when the sun shines on her side. She complains when my mango spells on her side. And she complains when I put the trash behind my house, behind my house because the trees pointed to her side. It's just a nightmare. I always be working behind my house. I do stuff every weekend. A couple of months ago, I cut some pine trees. There's been there for like over 50 years. She always complained there was rats and everything else. I hurt my shoulder cutting the things, and that's why I slowed down. doing stuff behind my house, I had to cut the stump. And find someone to cut it and then clean it, and now I decide to put a fence. I already have the approval, I was approved last week, and I'm gonna start to do the work. Thursday, that's why I haven't done
You got a
anything,
permit and everything?
yes, everything was done. And that's why
How
gonna
big
be
of
a lot.
how big of a fence are you putting on?
50 foot up.
I think it's that what is the ordinance?
6 foot, yeah.
It's actually-
Just on the first side.
It's saying good fences make good neighbors.
Yeah, no, I even told her, I mean, if you need anything, I'll cut the fence, I cut the trees and everything. And she was complaining about the 6 inch that she has on her of fence, which I clean, which I maintain. So it's just a nightmare. That's why I put up the fence and that's why nothing been done because it took me a month to get the permits.
The ones, okay, obviously,
No, sorry.
I was gonna ask, like, obviously, I can see why the citation regarding the debris and, the litter there. It's all complaining factor, right? Right, okay, so, again, our jurisdiction is different. Once the fence goes up, does that cure the violation to a degree where it's not physical? It's not physical, right?
Right, so technically,
It's gonna be clean.
so technically,
So, okay,
there's
so-
a failure to maintain the property.
Alright,
We'll look
so
at each item.
he sounds like he's willing to go ahead and do some cleanup, so, and he has taken the effort to go ahead and get the fence.
I can do it.
Where are you at on that? I heard you say you got
The permits and the guy's gonna start to make the holes on Thursday.
okay, so did they tell you how long it's gonna take?
No, I got a call for the inspection. after the-
Okay, but you're already working on everything in terms of.
Yeah, yeah.
So when do they expect the fence to be done?
The guy said he can do it on day after the
Right.
holes are done.
We
So
do recommend sufficient time. It would probably resolve this violation.
that's what I'm thinking of. So he's gonna do some cleaning.
Oh, yeah. No,
And then he's gonna put up his fence and I think probably then what?
the reason I haven't done anything, actually, I did a lot of stuff since I did a lot of cleaning since the citation. Because it's gonna be a mess. And then I have to rearrange the whole thing. I don't wanna do work double, just waiting for the fence and then I'll,
So you think you could accomplish it in 30 days?
oh, that's enough.
Okay, so
By next week,
this. City.
Let's
would
give him
recommend 30 days.
45 days.
Okay,
I think he does need her to go ahead and use it.
yeah, even the alley, I maintain the alley. Yeah, I talked to the city guys and I moved the garbage because they couldn't put it in the end of the alley. I told them to,
And he's got, the guys got the fence, you guys got the materials and everything.
Yeah. everything's coming this way.
Alright, so 45 days, that way you can. That's factor.
Thank you.
Alright, so we do.
City would request 40.
Wait, hold on, no, leave it, don't leave yet, don't leave yet.
Sir?
Okay, so this one's coming to me on our appeal, so it has it's the first time it comes to, the board or magistrate. So I'm gonna treat it as new business and just give them the extension of time with the $100, the 150, and then we give them the 45 days. And, do you have a card going on, can I do contact you? Because if you, let's say, for example, something happens.
I have it.
Stay in touch with her.
I have it.
Oh, you have it? Okay. Make sure you stay in touch with her that way.
Okay.
Once you're compliant, give her a call. But if something goes sideways, you can inform her. So she's your best help, okay? I hereby find that the violation of the state and the rest of violation that exists and continue to exist. I'm hereby ordering the property owner to go into compliance within 25 days. Otherwise, pays a fine of $100 a day, civil violation. I'm also granting the city's request an amount of $150 for fees and costs incurred regarding this matter, plus $100. Right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Is anybody here for 410 Run Avenue? That's number 2 under appeals. That's case number 42-0198, US 410 Ren Avenue. This was a citation that was issued for 93-11, dumping of burying waste. This citation was issued on February 7th of 2023, it carried with it a one-time fine of $250. Public Works, the Department of Public Works issued a cleanup order, and the subject area was cleaned up. So the violation was corrected by the city. The subject, on this case, it's important to note that the violation did not occur at 410 Red Avenue. That's who the city is only responsible because this was illegal dumping that occurred on 620 Cardinal Street, the swale area. Nevertheless, a request for an administrative appeal was received, and it's been separated for today.
All right, so I'm confused. If illegal dumping happened in a different property, why is it here at,
Because he's the owner of the property. The inspector could connect the dots.
Go ahead, let me go ahead and hear from
Yes.
the inspector, so,
So, Public Works was the one that informed me,
okay,
and they found some boxes and stuff with their name on it. And that's why it was referring back to me.
got it, okay. All right, so let me hear from the property owner name and relationship.
Yes, if you don't mind, I have.
Say your
written down-
name, say your
My
name.
name is Ricardo Yago, I am the owner.
Okay.
And I have written out what I want to say, is that okay? All right. So I have been a resident of Miami Springs since 2014. Although I purchased my home then, Miami Springs has been part of my life for most of my life. I attended middle, I attended high school here. Graduated in '93, and I lived out of state for over 10 years. I was in the United States Army. But I ultimately returned here because I've always loved this place. So I feel Miami Springs is one of the most active public works departments, at least in South Florida, especially when it comes to garbage disposal. This is one segment of my yearly taxes, which I actually feel is more than deserving. Not only do we have trash pickup twice a week, we have bulk pickup once a week, and we also have every 2 weeks recycling. So even in times of crisis, like after some hurricanes, they actually work. They do an outstanding job collecting the garbage, keeping the city clean, the alleys clean, everything. We are very lucky to be here. Now, to the point of my being present here in front of you today, I received a fine for which I feel was a complete misunderstanding. And my hope is that perhaps you can reconsider this action against me. It was regarding a small furniture box, it's actually, it is pretty small, it's not like a full. That I was placed in that swale of clover, okay? Now, I placed it there, but it was not because I had ill will or bad intentions about it, or I was trying to break the law. After all, I have my own location for this type of waste, so you're like, why would you do that if I pay the city, every week I can put whatever I want there and they'll take it. So the reason it was placed there and now where I have always placed my bulk item in this case was because of consideration for my back neighbor, who had approached my father-in-law and asked if we can place it in another location. So since I've lived there, I mean, as far as I can remember, there's always bulk trash there and I never use it, but it's there. And we were under the assumption, I'm not gonna incriminate anybody, but that was what was used on their, other people use it. So in that case, the reason they had asked my father-in-law is because the fence was being damaged frequently by the garbage truck because of where I put my, and it's in a 90-degree turn, so every time they turn, it damages their fence. So just being a considerate neighbor, that's why I placed it there. So I have evidence here, that I would like to give to you. They wrote a letter stating, some information about them, so at least we have some back.
Is that about them, about your neighbor with the?
Yeah, that's right. The one that has that issue with the trucks.
Yes, what, I'm trying to understand the place, the 620 Cardinal.
Right.
In relation to your property.
I live on a double alley. I'm very happy with this. I only have one neighbor, which is, I need the only one neighbor, for the neighbors I have. So, basically, that alley runs from Ren to Clover, it keeps going. So the two streets, the two avenues are connected, Ren and Clover. So basically, it's, it's on the other side, right there on the side. That's where where the place in question is.
So, okay, so let's say, if I'm facing your house,
Uh-huh. The alley's on the left,
the alley's on, okay, so you go through the alley on the left,
yes.
and
So
where
on
was
the-
it that, where is the way, the place that 620 Hardin, where was it?
Yeah, you go to the other side of the, to the other sidewalk of Clover,
Okay.
basically go through the alley, and it's right there on the left.
We have an aerial view from
Yes.
property bridge.
That's exactly what I'm using.
We can help you.
Yeah.
It's in the, he's right here, so it's here. Okay, so he actually has to carry it from the house all the way out.
Normally, I place it in the back alley, in the corner.
And where is it now?
Well, it would be,
It's like
In
in
your
the back, in the
Yeah.
corner, like near the corner.
yeah, they typically have like a niche where they place on
Got
the
it.
fence. I think it's like a 4x10 niche that they place their food. Trash.
And so the tiniest little piece of, or let me, if I can just finish these couple sentences, I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
I try to,
Yeah.
I try to embody, I kind of got lost in the whole thing.
Sorry.
I try to embody the spirit of the city, all right, by living and enjoying the beauty that we share. As many people know me from Minans, I know half the staff, like, well, like 5 times a day. And they see me riding my tricycles and my scooters, even though I have 2 perfectly good cars. So I sincerely apologize for my action, really, and I truly hope that you don't reconsider this action proposed against me. It was a complete misunderstanding.
No, the violation was corrected by virtue of public works doing the trash ball crash and picked it up. So there was no additional expense to the city, in regards to,
No, that's separate, right.
okay. And obviously you know now that. Yeah,
No, I-
take it over there, you can.
They have a problem, they're gonna have to take it with the city, I'm not gonna.
Yeah. All right, and they had no priors and we said that,
No.
we had no priors or anything.
No. It was just there was a one-time fine in the amount of $250. There was all that was issued, was the repeat.
Okay.
Or any type of continued violation or.
If you'd like to see the letter from my neighbor in this case.
No, I believe it, and I'm looking at it, I can totally kind of like get it, it was probably, and based on the error, probably took me more work to go ahead and correct. it
No, I don't
over
like it.
there, than you had to do work you were supposed to. What is the city's,
Just.
thinking of this one?
Just an unfortunate.
Yeah, my inclination right now is just finding $100 or $50.
See what we agree with it.
Yeah, so just go with it. So I'll split the difference, roughly 275. All right, so let me go ahead and do my ruling order. All right, hereby find that the violation is stated in the notice of violation that exists, it has since been corrected. I'm gonna reduce the 250 fine to $75. Which I'll be paid within 30 days, otherwise it's gonna revert back to the $250.
So I pay it like downstairs now, or so.
I think everybody's gone home, but yeah. So just make sure you can get it done within the 75, within the 30 days.
Thank you very much for your time.
Anybody here for 1070 North Wood? Yes. Sir. Next case on the agenda is number 3. That's case number 22-1205. Property address 1070 North Wood, Sienna Boulevard. This is for violation of section 93-13, maintenance of the property by owner. The citation was issued on January 31st, 2023. The property owner was given 20 days to come to compliance. It carried with it a one-time fine of $100. The initial fine not paid. And this violation was not complied, however, the request for administrative appeal was received. And it was set for its hearing.
I see there, prior to the hearing, we got the, oh, that's a request for hearing, I'm reading you the letters.
Good afternoon.
I wanna read the letter you sent to us. right, go ahead. Say your name and please.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Johnny Cineros, 17 Royal.
Right, and I just read your letter, it looks like you had some roof damage and an insurance claim.
Yes.
Okay, and based on the letter that I just we randomly stated February 7th of 2023, about a month ago, that you had that there was a settlement on your insurance claim, so you're now working to go ahead and get the
Yeah,
roof taken care of, or are you out of that?
sorry, the interruption on the tag has been.
Okay, fine.
I still believe the insurance company.
Oh, okay, so what did you do? You ended up making some repairs on the roof? And where was it that that was that the repairs were done? It doesn't have to specifically more or less. You don't remember. Where were the repairs done?
Making. Down, as soon as.
No, the repairs, when you were able to remove the blood.
Oh, you align only the tiles, but it's,
When?
you know, last week.
Okay, that's important. Obviously, first thing I can see tonight is that it's just. Right, so I think we have to send an officer out.
They said yes, confirmed compliance, we do it.
Yeah.
Compliant.
That's like that.
I went by there today and he had removed his part.
Okay.
No, we haven't received the letter, from the insurance company for the claim. Because you guys said that there was a claim with the insurance company. And, we were waiting.
He just said he's still in litigation.
This,
So,
we do the truck
right.
mileage.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you're
yeah,
tired.
and he did remove the charges that were here because of the fine.
Okay,
So, you say we request 24 hours to re-inspect and confirm, I think, wait, you already confirmed on the record.
yes, I'm gonna confirm though, right? So you don't have no confirmation.
Yeah, I went by there today, it's all been removed, those are the new photographs.
And right now, the fine was, 700.
It was $100 one-time fine. There isn't gonna be a 30 fine.
Yeah, but it's technically fine.
It's been fine.
Okay, so it's $100 one-time fine, $50 cost. Choose those in this case.
Yeah,
Excuse me, Johnson. Are you able to waive it?
I'm sorry?
Are you able to waive? It's
no.
the first time, you know?
No, and I understand that, but obviously the city incurs some expenses in the repair of this, and then they have the one that fine. The good news is that it's $100, it's not one of those 250 that we were hearing before. And you have no priors? No. Priors. And overall, he has been nice to deal with and.
Compared to the others, yes.
All right, let me, I'm gonna see if I can. You gotta finance, the finance so low. Where does it say you wanna do with that?
The initial penalty, well,
Yeah, the $100 already, we have $100 for 150.
the city's okay with calling.
So why don't we go ahead and. I'm gonna reduce the fine to 250, but then I'm gonna start letting people 150. So that would, it would be just a little bit. Okay. So, I hereby find that the violation as stated in the notice of violation did exist, that there was proper service under the violation as stated in the notice of violation did exist. It has since been corrected. I'm gonna reduce the one-time fee to $50 instead of 100. But I am going to run this request in the amount of $150 in the rest of these instructions for the punishment. Okay, so you have let's do $200 total. And I'm gonna do 30 days.
Okay.
Okay, so it wasn't a lot, but again, thankfully, though, it wasn't that big anyways to start with. You'll get an order in,
All right, thank you.
all right, thank you, and good luck with it.
Fine, didn't want to say it. I'm from this.
All right, it looks like that concludes our audience, and we have to,
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Want to take a break or do you want to take
So I think we have what, like 3 left?
Oh, so.
We have 5 left. 5.
I have 3. Oh, never mind, the commission heading.
Yeah, there's behind the red. Yes.
Okay,
Is it okay if I take some out of turn? Okay.
so give me the agenda numbers.
The agenda number is number 9. Under new business. This is case number 22-1349. Property address 800 Hunting Lodge Drive. This is for violation of section 150-016. Off-street parking facilities, post parking on an open surface. Today it's not compliant. The citation was issued on January 17th, 2023. They were given 20 days to come in compliance. The initial penalty was $100. It was not paid and no request for administrative hearing was received. So this is essentially a default hearing. I'll have the inspector discuss the violation, answer any questions you may ask.
I went by the property today and there still was one vehicle parked on the glass. There were initially 2 vehicles. I did speak with her. She told me that she was gonna remove the vehicles, however, she only removed one of them. And she was going to come by today, but she said she felt ill. And wasn't going to be able to come in today. I did remind her she could join via Zoom. But
Nothing. No, it's just the first violation, regarding parking equipment,
yes,
and last time the date on this one was 1/17/2023.
that's the date the citation was posted, correct?
Have you, were there any re-inspections? When were those?
I think I have photos.
Absolutely.
I have 2 photographs here. It's the one dated January 17th of 2022 and the other one February 23rd.
The 117 was the day the ticket was issued, and then the 223 was the day that I posted the summons. So I believe there may have been other photos, well, there's one for today. Showing the one vehicle. She had mentioned to me that the tree, because I told her she could park on the swale. She told me that that tree damaged her vehicle. So she didn't want to put the white one under the tree, but she said it stained it.
Yeah, and both of them will be in violation of the road as well. Okay.
Right.
So here's what I'm gonna do. Well, this was coming on in with compliance anyways, right?
Yes.
Default, okay. So a lot of times when I do with these parking citations, even if it was a vehicle that we need it for 24 hours, just because we usually move it. Technically, you can keep going every day. Every time that it's in, it's there, it's in because it shouldn't be there.
So would that require a daily citation?
No, because for instances of this one, it is going to be an immediate one, but technically, if every day that they do that, would open the door for the city to second again and again and again and again and again. Just because it's the reliance on every single one of those cases, would technically be deemed separate. Well, if you do it that way, every case has, every time you go there and you cite them, it's a different cost.
Right, so we're not talking about a running fine,
Correct.
right? She's talking about basically it's like quarantine. Every time you do, you can tag them again.
With different, every time with different cases, because what ended up happening is that that's a review, and then we should read it, and then we should read it. And finally, I think that's the other thing. Because the problem with these parking ones is that you give them this vacation, and they just keep doing it, and they just bought it pretty much. immediate 24, maximum 24 hours, how it gets the city open.
And they can keep the citations will go up, right? Like that
Every
should-
time, and that's the reason behind it, because every time there's a new case for the same reason, it becomes a repeat. If you keep it under the same case, it never becomes a repeat, because it's just for the, that you're adding the conflict of vehicles. It's kind of different, so for this case, it was going to go that way anyways, if it's 21 people, so. All right, and, tell me about, service of the, of the vacation, was it certified mail return receipt?
It was,
Was it also posted or just certified?
it was also posted.
Okay, and then the notice of hearing was that sent certified mail return receipt?
Yes,
Was it also posted?
it was.
All right, and here, what is the city requesting, no, it's immediate,
We would be requesting a rate immediate fine as per the citation of $100 and court costing the amount of $150.
right?
So then they close out this case, and they sign it again when they see it again.
All right, I hereby find that, there was proper service under the violation as stated in the violation and the citation that exists. And, this one comes as a default, so it's immediate compliance with a fine of $100 and the grant is requesting amount of $150, we can also be that in this slide. Okay. With the next case,
The next case is number 10 on the agenda. That's case number 22-1285. Property address 1037 Hunting Lodge Drive. This is a repeat violation. It's for a violation of section 151-04 without a building permit. Concerns a wooden deck that was constructed. Today, the permit has not been applied for. The violation is still outstanding. The citation was issued on January 11th, 2023. It provided 20 days from compliance. It carried a one-time fine of about $200. It was paid, but no request for an administrative hearing was received.
right, as of right now, there has been another new application. No, right. And like that, there was no, request for appeal that's having it every year. Also, right.
Correct.
Red was the notice of service, the notice of violation was it served via certified mail return receipt.
Yes,
Was the when also posted,
yes,
was the notice of hearing, sort of sent certified mail return receipt.
yes,
Was also posted.
yes.
What is the city's request?
City requests the initial penalty of $100 be paid and $100.
I thought it was paid already, it was 200
$200 that was paid.
Okay,
Oh, I'm
This is
sorry,
a
this is case
repeat.
number, this is case number 10 on the outside, yes. This one-time fine of $200. So
It
the
was
city,
paid, yes.
city would request $200 per diem fine. And cost in the amount of $150.
I hereby find that there was proper service and the violation was stated and there's a violation that exists and continues to exist. I'm going to impose a one-time fine of $200, which now has been paid. But outstanding is the $150 for fees and costs, which I'm granting the city in regards to costs, fees and costs incurred by the city regarding this matter. And I am ordering the property owner to come into immediate compliance, otherwise it's a fine of $200 a day under the violations correct.
That would be a fine, did that start today?
Yeah, go ahead and start tomorrow, get it by the past 5 o'clock, but yeah, tomorrow.
Just to clarify, all of the per diem ones would start tomorrow?
Yes.
Yes.
All of them, right?
So,
Okay.
yeah. Both the ones. Unless I give them time to comply.
Right, right.
The next case I have that is left is number 2 on the agenda. Yes,
Did you?
we did 2.
Yeah.
Number 4. The 4 is case number 22-0229, property address 1901 Hammond Drive. This was for a vacation rental ordinance violation, section 150-445. It was dealt with an advertisement, it was complied. This citation was issued on March 14th, 2022. They were given 20 days to come to compliance, carried with it a one-time fine of $100. It was paid on April 1st, 2022. So this is a default. We're just looking to affirm that the violation existed and costs in the amount of $50.
When I heard you say that the fine was paid, correct?
The fine was paid. If we would be okay with just an order affirming the violation, so the next time it would be completely.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and do the service report. I don't have the certified, but I do have picture of posting.
That's the inspector.
Right, so yeah, let's go ahead and. Oh, never mind, I did find it, alright. So, was the property owner notified of the notice of violation by certified mail and user 374?
Yes.
And was it also the notice of violation, was it also posted on the property?
Yes.
Okay, and the notice of hearing, was that sent to the, homeowner, property owner, certified mail return receipt?
Yes.
Okay, was it also posted?
Yes. They made contact with me after, and I'm sorry, this is compliance officer of the Borrego. They made contact with me after the citation was issued and also once they received the summons.
Okay, great.
Yes,
Alright, and it's from the testimony that they're in compliance.
that is correct.
Okay, well,
I already applied.
I hereby find that there was proper service, that the violation as stated, and then there was a violation that it exists, it has been corrected. I'm gonna impose no fine and no fees, but I am making the finding of violation. Right, yes.
Next one is on. Yes. Okay, number 5 on the agenda, that's case number 22-1374, property address 48 Curtis Parkway. This is for a violation of 93-13 maintenance of property. And 131-07 graffiti. The graffiti violation did come into compliance. But the maintenance of the property did not. Is that correct, Inspector?
Sorry, I thought we had been done.
Okay, so
Sorry, they have compliance.
strike it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think I have that one with me.
Okay, so that's been removed from the agenda.
So that's moved to the agenda after the next one will be 6. So we need to do everything for it. I'm sorry, number 6 on the agenda.
Is 78 Canal Street. Yes, so number 6 on the agenda is case number 22-0348, 78 property address 78 Canal Street. This for a violation of 93-13 maintenance of the property by owner. It's currently complied. This citation was issued on January 23rd, 2023. They were given 20 days to come into compliance. They did come into compliance within 7 days. So the only thing outstanding was the $100 ticket, which was never paid. That's why the city is set up for hearing to affirm the citation and order on the $100 site one-time fine and cost the amount of $100.
Excuse me, Jose, I'm sorry, they actually did pay the citation report is meeting, they paid.
Oh, so now they paid it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
They paid it.
they paid it.
But I think we wanted to.
We just wanted over.
Okay, you just want to find it. Alright, service was the notice of violation served upon the property owners by certified mail return receipt. Yes. Was it also posted? Yes. Okay. Was the notice of hearing, since we're here, served to the property owners, the certified mail return receipt? Or was it also posted? Nothing? Yes. Okay. I hereby find that there was proper service and, that the violation, the state of Minnesota violation did exist. It has since been corrected. I'm issuing no fine, no fees in light of the property owner coming to compliance within 7 days, faster than the voluntary compliance date. And, that they paid the, $100 fee for the hearing today. So, just a finding of violation.
The agenda.
All right, I think, yeah, that's what I got.
Record.
Thank you.
No, you have to adjourn the meeting.
Huh?
Adjourn the meeting
All right, meeting's adjourned.
at 6:56.
Apologize.
One moment.
for the records, but that is